Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Alex.Nunemaker Mortgage Podcast for the week of August 8th, 2022. In market news, we got a huge surprise on Friday with a really strong jobs report. Let's break down these different surveys and methodologies that are within the jobs report and talk about what's driving some of these numbers. So first up is probably what you saw in the headlines, the business survey, and that showed 528,000 jobs that were created, which was a big surprising headline, which you would think would show a really strong market. Showed hourly earnings were up 5.2%. These are all things that you don't necessarily want to see if you're trying to ease down or slow down the economy for inflationary purposes. And that's certainly not what the bond market liked to see. But right now, let's focus on that $528,000 positive jobs from the business survey versus the household survey, which reported job creation at 179,000. So why is that number so different? That's a difference of like 300,000 jobs. That's a big difference. So the household survey, as the name kind of insinuates, surveys households. And it has more of a binary question that they ask individuals within those households. It says, are you employed or not? So regardless of whether you have 1, 2, or 3 jobs, are you employed or not? So what we might be seeing in that huge number from the business survey are people who are being double or triple counted because they're taking on multiple jobs, which would make sense in a high inflationary environment. How do you beat inflation? Well, you just try to earn a little bit more. So which one's more accurate? It seems like the market is kind of sobering up a little bit. So after an ugly Friday, they sided with the household survey. The bond market has gained back some of those losses from Friday, but not so fast. We got a huge inflation report coming out on Wednesday, and this could be the tipping point. The markets are predicting that the number will come in lower than last year, bringing down our year-over-year numbers for inflation, which would be good for mortgage rates. So heads up for that. Wednesday is a huge day for mortgage rates. Now for your mortgage tip. Hey, remember government loans? Yeah, FHA, USDA, VA, well, they're coming back, and with good reason. So last 2.5 years, if you weren't coming in with an offer that was conventional or a cash offer, well, you could just kind of forget about your offer getting looked at. And why? Because, hey, you could. Now, with inventory coming up a little bit and homes sitting for a little bit longer, this is essentially what we're seeing is that you don't want to limit the pool of potential offers that are coming in. And to dovetail and kind of back that up, Fannie Mae just released their Home Purchase Sentiment Index, and you can look this up, HPSI. It shows that the consumers are showing most pessimism in home purchasing since 2011, and they just started tracking this in 2010. So whether that's grounded in reality or not, it doesn't matter. After all, if you can get in a time machine, travel back to 2011, you'd be telling any pessimistic home purchaser out there that they need to be buying a home. But this is a good indicator of how potential home buyers are feeling about the market, and that's going to be important for your sellers. So don't be afraid of government loans, just be aware of what they're looking for. So as a quick rule of thumb, most of these government loans, they just want to make sure the property is safe, sound, secure. Think about the basics. Good condition, no possible mold, no exposed electrical wirings, no chipping paint. If you don't have these things, no pooling water, then you're probably going to be fine. Yes, your client might need to install some handrails if there's an open staircase or steps of 3 or more, but those are cheap, so don't let a $200 handrail stand in the way between your client accepting an offer that's, say, $3,000 more than a competing conventional offer. So remember, an appraisal also is not an inspection. They're just looking for plainly evident safety concerns, but mostly what they're concerned about is what the value is. The same appraisers go out for an FHA or a VA loan as do a conventional. If you have a question, talk with the loan officer, which brings me to my last and most important point. Talk with the loan officer. If you call them, do they pick up? Do they return phone calls? Are they local? A pre-approval is good, but maybe they've got a underwriter who has signed off on that client's financials. Dig into it a little bit to see whether that pre-approval is actually going to stand up. Remember, government loan does not mean more risky. It's just that in the hands of a wrong loan officer, any loan, whether it's government or conventional, can go south in a hurry. So don't just be blinded by the conventional offer. Finally, the quote of the week comes from Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, who says, "Move in, move out, hands up, now hands down, back up, back up. Tell me what you gonna do now. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling." Wait, Alex, did you just quote Limp Bizkit in your podcast? Well, yes, because it's okay to have a sense of humor. Let's see who's actually listening all the way through this podcast. If you liked it, let me know. If I can help you or any of your clients with any questions or pre-approvals, let me know. They can visit me at homeloanswithalex.com. Have a great week.